In this section, we're going to look at how we use language as a design tool. In other words, how do we work with words? And there's many different ways that we can do this on a variety of different scales within our project. We left our project thinking about what does it look like and what does it feel like. And we've done that so far in a very visual way, using images and using icons, typography, color palette. And now we can think a little bit more about how this might work with words. How we could use words to describe the overall tone and attitude, much in the same way that we had a mood board describe that same thing visually. So if we take our scientific example for the phone microscope, for instance, we could think about what kind of words might we use to describe this if we didn't have the visuals there to do the job for us. So it's definitely scientific, technical. There's a kind of realism to it, but it's a very digital realism, maybe one that we don't always see. It's also quite serious, it's quite practical. So it's quite useful to come up with a set of words, and those words won't apply to every design direction that you have. For instance, here's our second design direction, and even though there's some things in common, it's still scientific, for instance. I think there's other things that are very different about it. Again, about how it looks and feels. It's much less technical and much more playful, for instance. And the images are less about having a reality or a digital feel to them, are much more about being animated or cartoonish. And overall that gives it a slightly different feeling. If we had to describe that with words, it certainly wouldn't be that it's as serious as the other direction. It would be much more friendly, playful and fun. Overall, we'd have much less of a practical feeling to this app, and maybe it would be much more entertaining and much more fun to use. So we can take these sets of words that we've used to describe our app, and we can think about those as a stepping stone to think about naming and branding. So one good thing to do is to do a bit of linguistic research and to try and play around a little bit with other words that are around the subject matter. So here's a collection of words that feel like they might relate to this app and how we might use it. So we could take inspiration from these words, or we could actually take parts of the words themselves, which is a very easy strategy, and think about how to combine them into a name, maybe something that we recognize or something we don't. So for instance, we could think about a name like C cells, because our app would allow us to see cells, or micro fun, which could be a way of having fun looking at small things. So while we're looking at the scientific basis of the language, we're also trying to put it together in a way that seems like it's fun, because that's reflective of our app. You can think about what the words describe, but you can also think about how they sound. Just the word magnozoom sounds like it's a lot of fun on its own. If we take our other example that's more serious and scientific, we might come up with a totally different set of words in our research. Even though we'd be looking at similar subject matter, we'd be looking at much more scientific words that obviously have a different kind of structure to them. So this would lead us to different kinds of names and different kinds of branding, but we'd use a similar structure, perhaps, where we can take parts of these expressions and think about how we put them together to either make a new word that we've never heard of before, or to make a word where we understand the parts where it's come from, and we understand that it's making something new as well. So for instance, we might look at the name nanoscope and understand nano meaning small and scope talking about vision or microscope, and the word itself that we make sounds like it's a real thing, even though it probably isn't. So let's compare our two directions that we have and pick names for them. So we're going to call our scientific direction octoscope, and we're going to call our more playful direction C cells. So we can think about how we use words in a number of other ways as well as branding. We could think about words as navigation, for instance. So if we were looking at something through our phones in the scientific world, we might be magnifying, but in the fun world, we'd be zooming. Likewise, if we were going to save our image, we might save it to a journal in the scientific world, but a scrapbook in the fun world. And if we wanted to share those images, we'd be publishing them in the scientific world, where we might be doing a show and tell in the much more fun world. So you can see how doing the same thing can be described with a different attitude, with a different mood. And we can use words as content to describe what it is that the whole of our app does as well. And again, the mood and attitude can come across in how we use those words. So our scientific microscope might use a much more academic language in order to describe it, and in order to describe how the user might interact with it and what the user might do. Our fun version of the microscope might use very different language. Here it would be much less academic, much more informal, appealing to a much broader audience, and with a little more of a fun attitude to it. So you can see how we're using language to really describe something in a very different way. We're using it to set mood and to set tone in the same way that we did with our images. So we're really looking at language as a design tool. We're looking at how it can be shaped and how it can be used in a variety of different ways. So language can set the mood and the tone in the same way that our visuals did, and it can do this at every level throughout your app.